Hey everybody, welcome back. And today we're going to be doing an entire breakdown with our videos and dining stuff. We just recently finalized our trip to get everything taken care of, so I figured we would take a little bit of time to talk about it. There is going to be a lot of information in the video, so like we always do, we're going to put timestamps down below if you guys are curious. So let's hit the intro and let's get straight into it. So at the time of recording this video, we are officially 160 days out from our trip. I know 168 days is a long time away, but believe me, I am enjoying the time before we have to go there, because everything here now is just relaxing. It's calm, it's peaceful. So we're going to get into it. We went ahead and did a lot of digging. There's a lot of changes coming, especially surrounding the Genie Plus, problem. Um, a lot of people complaining about, still having to pay for it, but, cry me a river. Who cares? Um, so we're going to get straight into it. We will be flying out on New Year's Eve. Um, we've already purchased, obviously, we've already gotten our plane ticket, so we don't really have to worry about that. Um, our first day, we will more than likely probably head over to Fort Wilderness Lodge, do some horseback riding, do our normal spill that we do at Disney Springs, all kinds of cool stuff. Actually, we have dining reservations scheduled for California Grill. There's a very particular reason as to why we chose California Grill. One, because we always go to California Grill when we first get there. It's always just been a thing that I've always done. We're going to continue to do it because there's no reason not to. But the entirety reason is to get the camera set up and use the Fantasy in the Sky fireworks show to be like an ideal for what lenses, what settings and stuff we can play around with and see what it's going to look like. I have a pretty good idea about settings wise where everything should be, but I won't know for sure until we get out there. Lenses wise, based on the Contemporary, I'm thinking of probably shooting with a 16 millimeter prime, either a 16 or a 35, maybe even a 50. Just depends on how everything's going to look. Every time I've tried to use the 50, it's always settings wise, it's just been a complete nightmare with that 50 prime. So 16 is probably going to be ideal that we're probably going to use. Sorry for the person that sold me the 50. It sucks. I get it. Our first park day will be on New Year's Day. We'll be heading out to SeaWorld Orlando. I know we did a poll in the community section and asked people, if we should go to Animal Kingdom. You've got to understand that you're only allowed to schedule 10 park days. So in order to get another park day, I would have to spend probably upwards of about $170 to take a trip to Animal Kingdom on that day. $170 to be able to visit Animal Kingdom does not seem worth going out there to ride 4 rides. It's not worth it. When I can head over to SeaWorld Orlando and pay half of that. And have more fun than I would at Animal Kingdom. Missing out Animal Kingdom on this trip, it's not a big problem. It's not a big deal. For people that this is your first time going to the park, I can see you wanting to stop by there, but the fact that we've been there 3 different times on 3 different trips, there's no reason to go back there. I love Flight of Passage, but I don't love it enough to pay $175. So we'll be heading to SeaWorld Orlando, and then we'll be coming back on property probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock. We'll have a dining reservation for California Grill again. This will be the second day in a row we have California Grill, and we're going up there to record our first angle for Happily Ever After. We're really, really excited to get out here with the 8K camera and see what we can pull out with this. So yeah, that's what we're doing our first day. Our first Walt Disney World Park day will be on the 2nd. We'll be heading to Magic Kingdom. This day it's crazy. It's a crazy day on this day. We're going to shoot Magical Friendship Fair twice. We're going to go around the park, get a lot of pictures and lots of videos. The bad thing about this is, based on these cameras, you're only allowed a certain amount of time to record videos, whereas my camera, it's about 35 minutes. We found a workaround for that to be able to shoot stuff inside the park up to 30 minutes worth of video footage and be able to have enough to be able to record happily ever after, obviously. By doing so, we have an extra memory card which will allow us to kind of reset our timer, so to speak. The one thing you really want to keep in mind when using this is making sure that your camera doesn't overheat. That's one of the reasons why. But as long as you have a time frame from when you shoot your last video to when you're beginning your next one, there shouldn't be a problem. And being the fact that it'll be in January where it's really not so hot outside, it'll be even easier. We'll be having a dining reservation for dinner at Steakhouse 71. This is outside the park because I don't want to eat at Be Our Guest more than once because the dining credits required is 2. Steakhouse 71 is just outside the park at the Contemporary Resort, and it only costs 1 dining credit for dinner. So it's a no-brainer. Shortly after that, on the 3rd of January, we'll be making our way to Disney Hollywood Studios. Very important time for anybody that knows. From the 1st of the year till about the 7th. The 6th or 7th, they will continue showing 2 showings of Fantasmic. Anybody that knows, the second showing is pretty much empty. The first showing, you have everybody going there. That's the opportunity where your VIP seating comes in. That's the only time you can use it. Aside from that, the second show is almost non-existent when it comes to people. So essentially, we'll be going to both showings. We have a VIP seating, the Fantasmic dining for sci-fi dining at that time. We'll be recording 4 angles in 2 different shots. So essentially, we're going to watch the show twice. We're going to record with 2 cameras both times. So that's going to give us 4 angles that we have. That'll wrap up our day. The 4th, we'll be going to Epcot, dinner, obviously, at Le Soleil. We'll be shooting Luminous from World Showcase. I haven't exactly made my decision as to where in World Showcase we're going to be shooting. More than likely, we're going to be shooting up front since it's probably one of the hardest angles to get, but I won't know for sure until I get into the park. Essentially, getting up close in World Showcase Lagoon is to essentially make sure that we can get a good close-up angle on the barge. While we have several telephoto lenses to be able to reach there, essentially what I want to do is I don't want to be right up and close. Anyone that saw the Happily Ever After video that we did last year, we were right up close and personal on the front of Cinderella Castle. And while this is a really good spot and a really good shot, it's essentially not what I want to do with this type of camera. Because we can do so much more with it. We can adjust our settings. We can do so much more. So with that being said, we need to find something where we can kind of have a common middle ground. Somebody did mention the fact of dining at Rose and Crown Theater. Rose and Crown, the fireworks dining package. I don't like the shot and I don't like the angle there. It's a horrible angle. There's too much stuff in front of you. Everybody says, well, there's nothing obstructing your view of the barge. But there actually is. There's that grass, that big boat right there, and I don't really want that in my shot. So essentially what we're probably going to end up doing is going over to the Japan Pavilion, seeing how it pans out there in the daytime when the barge is out there. And if not, then we'll throw in the massive telephoto lens and just go to World Showcase. Next, the 5th, we'll be heading to Hollywood Studios. Heading back to Hollywood Brown Derby. We haven't been to Hollywood Brown Derby in a couple of years. This is one of my favorite Fantasmic dining places. I love the environment. The food there is fantastic. The creme brulee is phenomenal. It requires 2 dining credits, which is why we're only doing it once. If it was only 1, we'd be doing it both days at Hollywood Studios. We'll be watching Fantasmic twice. Recording 3 angles. There is one particular angle that I'll be shooting with the telephoto lens, getting everything up close. I really don't want to be focusing on anything else but focusing, because I don't use autofocus, I use manual focus. So being the fact that manual focus, you can't necessarily hold a camera. And I mean, we'll try to see it and see how it pans out. Worst case scenario, I'll put my other camera on the tripod, and then I'll grab the monopod for the manual focus on everything up close. We'll just have to, play it by ear and see how it all plays out. That'll wrap up our recording for Fantasmic during that time. 6, we have a park free day. No parks on that day. We're obviously going to be sleeping in. We'll be sleeping in every single day, so that's not an issue at all. We'll be heading to Shula's Steakhouse for dinner before we make our way over to the Polynesian Village, where I'm not exactly sure if we're going to head over to the Polynesian Village or we're going to head over to Magic Kingdom, the Magic Kingdom entry station over there. I'll explain more about that here in just a minute. Shula Steakhouse is another steakhouse we're eating at. That makes 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes our 5th steakhouse that we're going to. If you're wondering, yes, I do love steak, but we are going around to some of the most recommended steakhouses in Disney World to make a video of who has the better steak and to get footage and reviews of all of it. After that, we'll either head to the Polynesian Village, which is more than likely what we're going to do, or we're going to head to the gate area of Magic Kingdom to record fireworks sounds for the Happily Ever After video. Like I said, not really sure what we're going to do. With the fact of so many people walking in and walking out and cast members on their radios, it's extremely unlikely that being there is going to be beneficial to anyone. So more than likely we're going to be heading to the Polynesian Village Beach to watch Happily Ever After there. We will probably record it, but we might just stream it just to get it done. After our park free day on the 7th, we'll be heading back to Epcot. This will be our only character dining that we have. Will be dining at Topolina's Terrace. This is something that my travel agent has been trying to get me to do for years. She's told me every single time when we've taken Asher, go to Topolina's Terrace. I don't want to go over there. He wants to go here. So we're going to bite the bullet and we're going to go ahead and give it a try. Based on the menu and all the recommendations, everyone says this is the best character dining. So we're going to go over here to the Riviera Resort and we're going to give it a try. We'll also have dinner at Epcot as well. We're going to be eating at Via Napoli. We can't go to Disney World without going to the best pizza place on planet Earth. Have to go there. We'll also be recording Luminous that night as well. That'll probably be the night that we shoot things in our back angle of World Showcase. We'll be all the way at the back with the wide angle lens at that point. On the 8th, we'll head over to Magic Kingdom. Nothing pretty crazy there. Obviously working on Happily Ever After video during that time. Eating dinner again at Steakhouse 71. It's only worth 1 credit. Why not? We'll get done with dinner there and we'll head over into the park and we will, get to our spot and wait for 2 hours. The 9th, we'll head back to Epcot, shooting Luminous again. This time we'll be heading to Space 220. We're going to be doing something a lot different. We went to Space 220 the last trip last year in September. We had a really, really bad experience with there. The filet that I had there was absolutely horrendous. It had to be the second worst filet I've ever had in my life. The first one, being at Chef de France there in the France Pavilion at Epcot, was by far the worst steak of all time. This steak was meaty with no flavor and no seasoning. I have never been back to that restaurant and I have no intentions of ever returning to that restaurant. But at Space 220, we're not getting the filet. Instead, we're getting the 24-ounce ribeye steak for an extra $20 because I wanted to give it a go. We have footage and photos and stuff of the filet there. It was bad. So I really wanted to give it another go. I love the ambiance of the restaurant itself. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. On the 10th, we have no park days. We have a park day, but we don't have a park day. Mike was with me when I did this. We paid for an extra park day and we spend the day doing other things. This will be our second park free day. What we essentially do, we go around property. We're probably going to go play some golf, probably go do some bowling, do some extra shopping and stuff. And then we'll eat dinner at Yachtman Steakhouse, which is over there, at the Beach and Yacht Club Resort. So we're going to be eating dinner there. And then we'll use the transportation at the resort to head over to Magic Kingdom and record our back angle for Happily Ever After. After that, we'll leave. Okay? We won't have the advanced skip the lines or anything like that for that day. The only thing that we'll probably do is we'll probably get an individual lightning lane for Tron for after the fireworks show, just so we can kind of let the crowds die down. And then after that, we'll take a minivan back to the resort because I'm not waiting. Then after that, we'll be heading back to Magic Kingdom for our final Magic Kingdom day on the 11th. This will be the time where we eat at Be Our Guest restaurant. It'll be at this time that we will be wrapping up our steak video, being the fact that at this point in time we would have eaten at every major steakhouse on property, with the exception of the STK at Disney Springs, and I'm not going there. I've had just too many bad experiences and bad reviews with that. Our final day on the 12th will be eating at Le Cellier again. If you're going to go out with a bang. Le Cellier is one of my favorite restaurants on property, by far one of the greatest, best filet steaks I've had in my entire life. We love this place, absolutely phenomenal. And then on the 13th we'll head home. It's a lot. It is an extremely long trip with a lot going on. It's crazy. We got 10 park days, 1 day at SeaWorld Orlando. We've got 2 park free days. We've got a lot of steak days to make a video for our steak video. So it's phenomenal. We're really excited, looking forward to it. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is our official breakdown of our video. Once we have more information about our fireworks videos, we have 3. We've got Fantasmic, Happily Ever After, and Luminous that are going to be done during that time. We are still up in the air. We are waiting to get approval from Six Flags Fiesta Texas to go down and do a full workup on Frightful Finale. I would really like to take my tripod in, so I'm waiting to hear back from upper management on that, as well as being able to get the microphones that I use at Disney World into the park, because the last time when we went there for the 4th, they didn't want to let me bring them in. So we're trying to get approval to be able to bring that stuff in, so that way we can do a really good show for it. If we can't get approved for it, then we won't do it. I'm not going to go shoot a half-ass video 7 hours away. So, all right, man, that's going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.